Hey, it's Daryl D TV, and here's some comics that I picked up in the last week or so. I hit a couple shops, and I also got something in the mail as well. I'm gonna start off with that one. Um, this is World War III, Deadpool versus Wolverine, or am I supposed to say Deadpool versus Wolverine World War III? Should I say it like that? I'm not sure. I don't really follow either of these characters. I don't know anything about Deadpool. Never followed that character. Wolverine, well, obviously, I go back to his first limited series, drawn by Frank Miller. Um, and of course, the X-Men. Come on. But none of the modern stuff, I must say. Yeah, basically I picked this up due to the whole Biggie Smalls thing right there, because I dig my rap comic books, most of them anyway, not all of them. And this, when I saw this, I figured, why not? I can see, I've seen the prices go higher and higher. There's a lot of these selling for over $100 at this point. But I guess he's kind of doing this whole keep the peace type thing, and hey, break up this fight. Why don't you guys shake hands and get along? I have no idea, but I just figured I'd pick it up and I'll hold on to it. Maybe I'll flip through it and see what's going on there. And I don't know. I kind of think when it comes to not just comic books, but anything, you got like the Biggies and the Tupacs and the, that's like too easy. Biggie and Tupac, that's not even exciting anymore. Hasn't been for years, but people keep really going back to those characters for every little thing they can squeeze out. Toys, comics, anything that, artwork, whatever. We'll see what happens. I thought it was alright. The first shop I hit was Dreadnought Comics, which is the closest comic shop in my area of town here in Phoenix. I showed this comic on my last video, I should say my last comic video. I showed issue number 1 of Crocodile Black. I have not opened that one yet and read it. This is issue number 2. I really need to crack it open and see if I want to continue with this title. Issue 3 is out too, but I didn't pick it up just yet. I think this book was like $5. I'm not really excited about spending $5 on any comic book, so I need to crack this open. I basically bought it just based off of the cover art. Over at Dreadnought, all of their comics are bagged and boarded, so you can't really open them up, or I wouldn't open them up just to flip through them to see what was in them. So, whatever, I took a chance. I didn't find, there's a couple of new titles that I'm following, and either they didn't have any of the latest issues, or the latest issues just weren't out yet. So this was kind of like, oh, we'll grab it. I didn't want to leave the store empty-handed, so I grabbed this one, and I also grabbed this Predator versus Black Panther. I think I saw like at least 3 different covers for this one. Again, I kind of didn't want to leave the store empty-handed, and I think this book was like $6, which is just, I don't know. I what am I spending $6 on a comic book for? But I picked it up. It looked interesting. Black Panther versus Predator. I'm hearing this is like a good title and it's pretty popular. I don't know if they're gonna do anything with it beyond this book. I have no idea, but I picked it up. What can I say? I didn't want to leave. I wanted to leave with something. How about that? So I picked that up. I think it was the next day, which was a Sunday. It was a Sunday. last Sunday, and I decided to drive all the way across town over to Greg's Comics, which is my favorite comic book shop in the Valley, and see what was going on there. I picked up a few. In my last comic video, I showed you the Deviant number 7, and I hadn't picked up number 6 yet, because where I picked up number 7, which I don't even remember what store that was, they didn't have any more copies of number 6. So I found this one at Greg's, and now I'm all caught up, even though I haven't even started reading that run yet. And I'm still looking for a few back issues of Department of Truth. So here's issue number 17. And also issue number 10. I almost think I bought this one on accident. I think I was looking for number 11. Hopefully that's not the case, but we'll see. I'll have to check that out. Also, at that was about it that they had for comic books that I'm just getting caught up with. I saw this book. This is a book from Boom called Profane. This is issue number 1. I was really digging the artwork on there. You know, that already looks cool. So I flipped through it. I like a lot of Boom titles are like really, really appealing. And so I flipped through it, and I'm seeing stuff like this. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, I think I better pick this up, you know, and check this out. This looks like my kind of reading right here, and definitely my kind of art. I don't know anything about the book yet, so we'll just have to see with that. And then this was a pleasant surprise. Okay, this is book number 3 of a 3-issue series of A Vicious Circle. Now, I saw, this was months ago, I saw like a posting on Instagram about this book, and I immediately loved the artwork. I thought the artwork was incredible. So I think I went to Dreadnought. I couldn't find it in there, so I asked them about them, and they found a couple copies. They found book 1 and book 2 of that book, and apparently, from what I'm hearing, they basically have been taking their time putting this out. Now, what I'm told is that these 2 issues came out a year apart from each other, because at first, after I bought these 2, I'm steadily checking every time I go into a comic book shop, and I'm looking for, you know, issue number 3, and this is only a 3-issue story. So I'm looking for number 3, and they're like, no, they're, you know, it's not out yet. They're, you know, whatever, they're taking their time. And so, okay, fine. And so I just stopped looking for it. Once I found out how big the gap was in between issues coming out, I just stopped looking. Whenever it comes out, I'm sure I'll see it. But I go over to Greg's, and they have it. And some of the other shops that I've been at, they didn't even have number 3 yet. So this was a great surprise to find over there too. So I think I'm just going to start over from the beginning and, you know, start this read all over again. Now, apparently, kind of a spoiler, there's these 2 guys in here. I'm just going to call them the good guy and the bad guy. So, apparently, the bad guy, every time the good guy and the bad guy, they're transformed to another time in history. And it could be any part of history, any part of mankind's history. So I think it starts off with them in the 70s, and then I think they end up in prehistoric, like dinosaur times, and I think they end up in Nazi Germany or something. They're all these different places, and this guy's trying to stop, the bad guy, this guy right here. So it's kind of weird, but what's cool about it is every time they show up in another time in history, the artwork in here completely changes. It's always cool, but it's like always changing. Some of it is full color, some of it is in black and white. It's a really, really interesting concept on what they did. I think it could easily turn into a longer run, and whatever, right? So yeah, you definitely want to check these out. These are magazine size, which was one of the reasons why I couldn't find it, because I was looking for them, in the new comics, the new releases or whatnot, and couldn't find it. So these were with the magazines in Dreadnought when I first found them. So now I have all three. Gonna start probably reading those this weekend. Looking forward to that. So, over there at Greg's Comics is the only shop in town that has 50-cent boxes. Everybody's got dollar boxes, but Greg's they're the only ones that have 50-cent boxes. So I went through there and I found some cool stuff. Now, and I've been through those before, but on this visit they had a ton of like new comics, like new or newer comics. Because usually it's like, older stuff, I don't know, 10, 20 plus years old comics. So I'm not sure. Most of these I'm not sure exactly when they came out, but they are more modern comics. So let me just show you what I pulled out the 50-cent box. This is called Cherry Blackbird. Interesting cover. I see the chick with the nail gun / gat, so she looked like she's gonna do some damage. Then I look in here, I'm seeing stuff like this, and I'm going, okay, that sounds interesting. Let me check this out. I think I have another copy of that. Now this was a surprise. I've been following the Deviant. I just showed you issue number 6. This is issue number 1. And even though I have this, for 50 cents, I just had to grab a couple more copies. And there was like maybe 30, 40 copies of this in the 50-cent boxes. And I asked the guy at the counter, I'm like, what's up with that? And he's saying, yeah, sometimes we'll get some books and they'll be damaged or whatever, and we can't really sell them for full price. So I did see a lot of them. They had like a big crease like right here going through there. But wow, what a deal. I wish I had, whatever, instead of paying full price for it. So I'm gonna pass my extras along to somebody, some other people that might be interested in reading that. Okay, now here is a run. This is just like a partial run of a book called American Ronin. Now check out that cover. That's issue number 1. And definitely I thought the artwork was pretty cool. So for 50 cents, hey, I gotta check that out. So I got issue number 1. I found, here's issue number 2. And this is a 5-issue run. And then this is issue number 3. So 3 out of 5, not bad. I'm definitely gonna have to get the other 2 before I even start reading this, if I ever start reading this, because I'm the worst when it comes to that. Here's a couple comics. Another 5-issue run called Devil's Highway. And this is issue number 1 of that. And then here's issue number 2 of that. AWA Studios. Of course, I gotta flip through it and make sure that I can get down with the art in here. And it seemed cool, like another adult-oriented type story. Not sure what the story's about, but I got 2 of the 5, so we'll see. I'll take a quick read of those and see what's going on. Of course, I gotta get the other 3 before I start that, because that's just how I am. Here's a book I've never seen this title before. It's Titan Comics. I've never even heard of Titan Comics. This is called Gun Honey, issue number 1 of Gun Honey. Ooh, okay. This artwork is really cool. I'm really digging this. So yeah, I don't know how many issues of this there are, but I'll definitely be checking that one out. And then here's what issue is this? Track 3? Is that what they're calling them? Tracks instead of issues now? It's like some crazy monster stuff. They're like eating people. Another copy of Cherry Blackbird. Some kind of horror comic. I don't know. Inside it looks like they're eating people in there. Some stuff I don't want to show on YouTube, but we'll see what happens. Then let's see. This was cool. This is a book called Eve from Boom, and that's issue number 3 of number 4. Am I saying that right? No, number 3. Issue number 3 of Eve. And then this is what made me grab it. This is issue number 5. And I just thought, just based off of the cover, let me grab this, flip through it. Art's okay. It's okay. But for 50 cents, even if I don't end up liking the storyline, I can just pass it on. You gotta love 50 cent books, man. The only thing better than a 50-cent book is a 25-cent book. You feel me? Anyway, I like this one too. This is another one. I see the cover, I'm like, okay, I gotta grab this just based off of the cover. This is from Scout Comics. This is Black Cotton, issue number 1. And I actually found 2 in there. Here's a close-up of that cover. Thinking about talking about this more in length in a different kind of video, but we'll have to see. Another one where the artwork is alright. This book is all in black and white. You know what I mean? Not sure what the storyline is, but I think I'm gonna enjoy this one. Now, this next one I want to show you was a pleasant surprise. Now, I plan on doing a whole separate video eventually about this book called Red. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with that run. I think I have it sitting out here somewhere. I found this run. Now, this one is different than the original run of Red, which is a 3-issue miniseries. Yes, this is the Red that they made the movie off of with Bruce Willis and Morgan Freeman in it. Now, the original run of that I found like in the clearance boxes at Half Price Books some years ago, and let me tell you, it's one of the best mini series stories I have ever read in my collection. Not going to get too deep into that because I'm going to talk about that in another video. But this one is different. Like, if you're familiar with that run, then you know this is a whole different cover. And I'm not sure what the storyline is on this, but I was like, wow, another red book. Sign me up. And I believe, I'm not exactly sure, but it looks like it's the exact same artist, because the I could be wrong, but the artwork looks very familiar. I think it might be the same art. I'm not sure. But this is a fantastic book. Later on, when I found out that they made a movie out of it, and I saw the movie, they actually did a part 2 of the movie too, I was very disappointed. I'll get into that another time. Very excited about this book. And 50 cents on top of that. So, okay, here is another run. This is a 4-issue run of a book called Red Border. Took a quick flip through this book, and I definitely thought the artwork was cool. This is issue number 2, and here's issue number 3. And if I could just show you some of this artwork, I definitely was digging some of this. And then I have issue number 4. So all I really need to do is find issue number 1. I know I'm gonna enjoy this story. The art looks just too good for it not to be a good read. And it looks like a cowboy, some type of cowboy type stories, which I love cowboy comics when they're written well and drawn well. Speaking of cowboy comics, here's another one from AWA. This is issue number 1 of a 5-issue run called Redemption. Saw that. Check out that cover. Pretty cool. Artwork definitely on point. Check that out. Artwork is definitely on point. Had to pick that up. Looking forward to that. Gonna have to find the rest of those. You know what's crazy is when you find these cheap books, usually the whole entire run is like, you know, not very much. They're 50 cent to $1 books, but you gotta dig for them, and you gotta hope that you can find them. And a lot of times it's just a long shot. And if you go online, that same $2, $3 book after shipping turns into an $8, $9, $10 book. And that sucks. So although some of these I'm going to have to go after, hopefully I'll be able to find them for a decent price and the shipping won't kill me. Another book I picked up out of the 50-cent bin, I think this is issue 3 of a book called Sanction. And what kind of drew me to that was that whole diner scene there. And I thought, okay, let me check that out. Artwork is pretty good. Yeah, this is real cool. So looking forward to that. And I found another book, issue number 1 of a book called Killing Hope. Have no idea what this is about. Can anybody help me out and tell me what this book is about? Once again, flip through. The art is okay. It's okay. But it definitely looks like some kind of horror book or whatever. So yeah, I'll check this one out. That should be a cool read. Uh, from AWA, next up, this is just entitled Little Black Book, and this is issue number 1 out of 4 issues. Looks pretty cool, huh? Looks like another cowboy run. And then, last up that I want to show you is issue 3, 4, and 5 of a book called Sins of the Salton Sea. Not sure. It's, this is another crime book, basically. Oh, and I just noticed that some of these places are in Arizona. Never heard of Star Valley, Arizona. But right there, you got Phoenix. So this is issue number 3 out of a 5-issue run. Issue number 4 out of a 5-issue run. And then we have issue number 5. So definitely going to have to grab 1 and 2 before I get into that. And that's about it. That's what, these are the comics I found over the last week or so. And these 50-cent books alone was worth the trip all the way across town to Greg's. If you're in town, make sure you stop in there. Talk to Howard. Tell him Daryl D sent you. That's it for now. I'll see you guys on the next comic video. You guys be safe. Peace and love.